Greetings, fellow humans. I'm MartianBuu, and today I have for you Reno Mage. This is a bit of a Martian original. It started out with me just missing Frostlet's Jaina and wanting to build a deck around it, and it evolved into something that actually kind of works, even in today's pretty oppressive meta. The idea is to outlast and outvalue your opponent. So the whole deck is basically survival tools and late game value. For the mulligan, you're always keeping Mad Scientist, Zephrys, and Book of Specters. Mad Scientist, at the very least, draws you a card and plays it. So it's good tempo, good value. But it's really good against things like Ignite Mage or Pirate Warrior, where you really want that Flame Ward or Ice Block to keep you in the game longer. Zephrys, best card in the game, always good to have in hand. You can use it reactively against faster things, or you can use it to get a Wild Growth against a slower thing, or you can clear a Giant with it. It's just always good, so having it in hand means that you will always have at least an answer to one thing. Book of Specters, you might think is a little sus because we have so many spells in the deck, but on average, it's going to draw you 2 cards. Because we have so much late game value, it doesn't matter that we might burn some things, and you will have bad books, so you're going to burn 2 cards or burn 3 cards. Sometimes, not usually, but sometimes. And that ends up being fine. So getting us closer to the end of the deck is actually a good thing if we're going to go for an Ignite finish. Just make sure in matchups like Renolock, where Ignite is probably going to matter, that you wait to play it until the Ignite is already in hand, unless you're going to use it super early on when you're less likely to burn specifically Ignite. Against almost everything except for like Odd Hunter, you want to keep Reno the Relicologist. It's a really good tempo swing. So on 6, you can use it to clear a bunch of pirates. You can use it to clear a giant and come back from the board that way. So it's usually good to have on 6. So I would keep that against almost everything. So like exceptions are Odd Hunter, Ignite Mage, Celestial Alignment. Polymorph is exceptional against Evenlock. So not only is it removing your opponent's giant or removing their big demon, but it's denying them the res, getting a giant or an Etheron back from Raised Dead, or like any demon back from Gul'dan. It's really good to polymorph, and you have a lot of polymorph effects in this deck. So between Zephrys, Kazakis, and polymorph against Evenlock, you can deny them so much Gul'dan value. So keep that. You want to use it on their first giant or their first Etheron or whatever, just to make their Raised Dead so much worse, because giving them a sheep back when they were expecting to get a mountain giant is pretty devastating. Dirty Rat, you keep that against combo decks generally, so like Pillager or Ignite, and hope for the best. You can also keep it against Odd Hunter in hopes that they maybe won't play around it, and then you can kind of scam a win that way. Most Odd Hunters will play around it, so it's a bit hopeful, but that's one of your few outs to that matchup, so you keep it just in case. Reno, you want to keep against aggressive things like Pirate Warrior. You can keep it against Odd Hunter. That's probably your most reliable win condition, is to be able to have some stuff out pressuring their life total, and then Reno Jackson and continue to pressure the life total. So just jamming Reno isn't going to win you that game, but if you have other minions out that are doing damage, you can extend the game by a little bit and maybe finish off with a Zeph Bloodlust or something. So against decks like Pirate Warrior, you want to have Flame Ward, First Flame, or Fire Sale, or all 3 ideally. I would keep Flame Ward even if I also had a Mad Scientist, because your Mad Scientist can go get your Ice Block, and this way you don't whiff on the Flame Ward by pulling Ice Block when you want to get Ward. Ward is just such a good card against Pirate Warrior. It always has been. You just play it on 3 and then they skip an entire turn of whatever they wanted to do. It also messes with cannons. They have this impossible choice, like, do I play the pirates to shoot with my cannon, or do I trade first so that my pirates stick afterwards? Lose-lose for them. So First Flame is a very flexible clear, and Fire Sale is Hellfire that doesn't damage your face. Really good against pirates and other early aggro things. Some card choices. I've built a deck around Frostlet's Jaina, but the only elemental in the whole deck is Zephrys. Why is that? Frostlet's Jaina is a card that isn't always out on the field. So if you're running like Baron Geddon or Ragnaros to do cheeky elemental lifesteal things, those cards are going to be really bad until you play Jaina. You don't really need the extra elemental support to make Jaina good. Her hero power synergizes with the lifesteal that she provides. As you're making more frost elementals, you're making more things that can heal you up. She's good enough on her own as far as elemental synergy goes. Ignite is in here because in the even Renolock matchup, it does actually come to fatigue quite often. You have so many polymorph and clear effects that you can outlast their Gul'dan and all of their early threats. And then you get to the point where your deck is empty and they still have 5 or 6 cards, and their Siphon Soul is better than your hero power, so they would just beat you that way. But with Ignite, you always have a card in your deck. You never take fatigue damage, and the Ignite keeps getting bigger, and you can use the Ignite to clear their last few threats. So they can't actually stick anything to pressure you down. It just comes down to their hero power. Astromancer Solarian is a card that I put in here just for the sake of making the N'Zoth slightly more robust. The Talon and the Kartut make N'Zoth good enough to include on their own. The problem is drawing both of those cards before you play your N'Zoth, which doesn't always happen. The other Death Rattles would be Mad Scientist and Quillbore, so there are a couple of other hits, but I felt like there was just slightly too little for the N'Zoth. The issue with that is there aren't any other good things to include, so the only other good Death Rattle is Forge Fiend, but this class doesn't have Shadow Essence or Void Caller, so you have to play Forge Fiend honestly. And 8 mana, 8/8 taunt just doesn't quite do it. So we have Solarian in here. Astromancer can be good with things like Fire Sail or First Flame. The Prime version can give you a board swing or some additional value. And it's just kind of a fun card. It is not that important to the deck, so if you don't want to craft it, I had a Doomsayer in there before, and Doomsayer felt quite good. Play it on 3 into your opponent's Mountain Giant turn, so that they have to basically skip their turn, because if they play the Giant, it's just going to die to the Doomsayer. Plus you have Varden and you have Frost Nova, so you can do the classic freeze the board, play Doomsayer for a board clear. And I did think that N'Zoth with just Talon and Kartut was good enough on its own. I just wanted a slightly more robust Death Rattle pool. So the Amazing Reno is not in this deck, and the reason the Amazing Reno is not in this deck is because I do not enjoy that card at all. It might be my least favorite card in the game. Its Battlecry is really cool, but its hero power is just frustrating to me. Whether it's on my opponent's side of the board or on my side of the board, as soon as it's played, I stop having fun. This is a deck you play for the fun of it, so I would rather just not play it at all than play it with Amazing Reno. But I have found that I'm in the minority when it comes to that, so if you enjoy the Amazing Reno, I guess you could put it in. The Battlecry will be very effective in the Evenlock matchup, but the hero power will make your endgame a lot less precise. If you have Ignite and you're using it to avoid fatigue, Reno can like draw you cards or cast Book of Specters or something like that when you're not expecting, or discard your whole hand or whatever. So it does put a lot of fragility and risk in a situation where you otherwise couldn't lose if you didn't have it. Don't recommend it. You could probably play it if you want to. I guess you cut Frostless Jaina if you'd rather have Amazing Reno. Luna's Pocket Galaxy is also not in here. For me, if I'm playing Luna's Pocket Galaxy, I'm running triple Alex OTK deck. You use it to set up your Bran, Alex them to 15, and then Alex them deal 8 twice. That's your endgame with Luna's Pocket Galaxy. I also think that hero cards do not work with Luna's Pocket Galaxy. So the whole point of LPG is to take your greedy cards and make them less greedy by having them cost 1 instead of their full amount. Jaina and Amazing Reno are expensive cards that don't get made inexpensive by your mana cheat cards. I think that they don't work at all in an LPG deck, and I'm often confused why so many people run them despite that. So like if you're playing LPG and you're doing your Luna Chain, you're drawing minions and playing them to draw more minions, and then you hit one of those cards and suddenly your Luna Chain is over. And what do they do for that deck? Nothing, because you were planning to win by double Alexing them and blowing them up. You don't need that late game value or that late game clear, because you just win the game if it goes that late. Anyway, in general, I don't think that the hero cards fit in LPG, and the whole point of this deck is to give Frostless Jaina a chance to shine, so no LPG. Finally, Skulking Geist kind of represents all Hunter tech cards, so like Robes and Mindbreaker, Sir Finley Murgleton, and Grizzled Wizard. There are a ton of like ways to tech against Questline, Hunter, but they're all about as hopeful as the deck is anyway. So you can add those cards in to make your matchups against everything else worse, but it doesn't feel like they make a difference in the Hunter matchup. The Hunter matchup still comes down to, did you develop tempo and keep the pressure on by playing Reno so that your opponent can't just burn you down? If Sir Finley, Grizzled Wizard, had some kind of ice fishing tutor, then that package would be good. In general, I think that Skulking Geist comes down a turn or two too late to matter in that matchup. By the time you've done it, they've probably already activated Tavish, and then their 3 mana spells are enough to get there anyway. So there isn't a tech that's good enough against that to be worth a slot to me. I'd rather just take the L than run something like that. That about covers everything. Comment and subscribe for more Martian videos. I hope you enjoy the games, and thanks for watching. Ulamog. What's Ulamog from? Am I thinking of Kilowog? Kilowog is a Green Lantern. What's Ulamog? Alright, we had to bounce the Sloth up many, many times in order to win. Oh, it's Magic the Gathering. Is that one of the they attack and then they like your opponent has to sacrifice permanents? What were those 3 called? There's the one that makes you take extra turns. pretty sure it's one of those, huh? Don't know, never played it, just use Google. Alright, yeah. Yep, it's one of those. What were those called? Eldrazi, yeah. You know what's funny? I loved the Tron deck in Modern. I played a ton of what's his, like, of Aos Torn? What's that thing called? The one that's had like both versions of Emrakul. Yeah. It's like had both versions of it banned at one point. I think anyways. I think the newer version was banned in standard maybe. I don't know. But like I've played a ton of Emrakul and a little bit of, I think, Ulamog in my Tron deck, and I can't remember their names. And then nobody watching Martian knew what he was talking about. Opponent is slightly out of gas. Martian needs to draw Zola and or Potion of Illusion. Lotheb ends his whole career. Once we've set up a board, yeah, but until then, not so much. I wish we had Ice Block up. If we had Ice Block up, I'd say we're in a really good spot. Right now, we're only in a pretty good spot. Alright, so as long as they don't kill us next turn, I think we win. So hopefully they don't kill us next turn. Ulamog Gross down with Tron players. Aww. But I love Tron. Mage deck with minions, do those actually exist? At least one. Everything can burn. You said go away. But the legend continues. Draw 2, gain 7 armor is my perfect potion. So if I played this, next turn I would have 12 damage. Not enough. It's so hard to get Pillager and Potion in play without scabs. Opponent should have waited. I don't know what the rest of their hand was. Like, it could be that they like missequenced something and they had it that turn, or it could have been they needed something in their deck, but they also couldn't stand to lose anything in their hand, so they like just kind of went off because nothing else they could do. I don't know. Maybe what they needed to do was set up the biggest possible potion and then hold the stuff from the potion.
Hello.
Hey, Shogun. That deck is too big brain for you. It's like, I think it's like just out of my range. And mostly because I'm not willing to put in all the time. I think if you're like willing to just like no life that one deck for a bit, you could probably get really good at it. But I typically stream when I play, and you guys would have to have like 2 days of me just like fumbling with it, and then you know, my attention's maybe not enough on the game. I swear there are some decks that seem so fun, but the power level is so high and wild. Yeah, I think with less than 10 bans, you could like, you know, quintuple the amount of viable decks at least. Not even just bans, you know, like just changes. Like ban a few standard cards and change a few historically problematic wild cards. As much as I hate to say it, Apprentice has to go. Agreed. Sax Choi does a sleeping stream. That's silly. Why Reno Mage instead of Renolock? Just because of Ice Block? This deck was born because I thought to myself, I miss playing Frostless Jaina, and I would like to play Frostless Jaina, please. It's actually one off of killing both of them. So I wanted to play Frostless Jaina. Frostless Jaina and Amazing Reno are both bad in LPG because they are greedy cards that don't get reduced by Luna's Pocket Galaxy. So I tend not to run them in Luna's Pocket Galaxy for that reason. They make your deck worse because you go to do your Luna Chain and then you hit one of them and your Luna Chain's over and you lose. Plus, like, they don't add anything. The whole point is to set up an Alex OTK, and having expensive cards like that don't do anything for the deck. So I thought to myself, can I run? How do I run Reno Mage like we used to before Luna's Pocket Galaxy, and then I can play Frostless Jaina. And this is what I came up with, and it's been going surprisingly well. Like, I didn't expect it to be great, but it's not. You know, like, it's all right. But I guess I expected it to be a lot worse than this, and we can win games with it. So, pretty fun way to play it, I think. No play around Defile. Not about that. I can imagine this in a matchup with Odd Warrior. Oh man, I can dream. Like this against Odd Warrior. I would love that. The Sag is all Odd Warriors from now on are going to be Pirate Odd Warrior, right? Because the infinite value from the quest is worth it. Make quest lines cost 2 mana. Could also make them cost 0. There are specific quest lines that I wish did cost 0. Like the Ungoro Hunter one and the Ungoro Murloc one. Those are, like, the problem with those ones has always been that you have to skip turn 1. And neither of those strategies wants you to skip turn 1. It's so punishing. I guess I just make this trade, huh?
Whoa, too many cards.
New Pally Quest probably wants to cost 0 too. More than that, though, I think more than that, what it wants is is for each iteration to only require 2 1-drops. I think if you did that, that would make it viable. But costing 3 unique 1-drops each level, it's just too much. Have the quest lines not start an opening hand. Then they're just bad, right? Maybe you're fine with that. But like that kills them. None of them would be good. Very few, at least. Thank you, Moo, for being here to get your drop. You could have gotten those from any Hearthstone channel, and you chose to get them from Martian. I appreciate you. Bran always sticks, and we get a bajillion dragons for Emrys every time. Literally 100% of the time. Imagine, it would be so cool. Even getting like 1 Emrys would be sweet. I got Bran, Dragon Queen Alexstrasza into an Emrys last night with this very deck, Mr. Boo. Nice! That is very spicy. Let's see if I can do it too. Would LPG run Emrys if it was neutral? Oh! Maybe, actually. Alright. So, we're gonna do this. And... now what will you do? Now what will you do, Sparrowclaw? Greetings, Gwynny. Oh, hey, Romano.
Wow, well played.
Would Thorson have a spot in this deck with Alex and Bran combo? I think if we're gonna do that, we have to cut the whole N'Zoth package if we want to start like exploring routes like that. Is there a Barbie cinematic universe? I don't know. Up against actual Renolock. Barbie and the Barbieverse win. Someday, I guess. Do I need to go for a 10-cost potion? Don't I just lose? Don't I get Ticketus and lose? You just gotta hold Ignite, I suppose. Let's go for Transform and draw. Womp womp. Demons, easy. It's too many cards in hand. Can't play that next turn. I regret taking demons. Barton is one of your favorite mage legendaries. It is a really cool card. Get it? Why are we having a debate over Barbies? Because we were... the answer is no good reason. We're off it now. Alright, so because of the rat, we get to actually do this turn, which is... Oh, who's the Ticketus now? Who's the Ticketus now? These are actually really good demons, huh? Who's the Ticketus now? Alright, so that's a turtle. What do we say to turtles? Actually, what we say is we top deck the polymorph. That would be ideal, but... Ticketus Mage, new meta. Imagine we get to do the Bran Zola Ticketus thing. That would be pretty funny. Although they get to wrap me again, don't they? Ticket us, yeah. You're trying to tell me that this is ticket to us? I don't know about that. I don't know about that.
This is not what we stood for.
In solidarity for for Spitzlov having to watch Barbie movies with family, I think. Yeah. I guess that is why we were doing it. By the power of tomatoes, I have the power. Still don't have Ignite yet, which is a big sad, if you ask me. As long as we have Ignite, we always win the fatigue duel, right? Did you say tomatoes and not potatoes? Yeah, I try to throw that in sometimes. Ticket Us to Ride, the newest Hearthstone theme expansion to Ticket to Ride. Ticket to us, I see. See what you did there. How did we get a tick? Xakis potion. The fact that they would play the demon first and then trade makes me think that we might be up against an honorable no-ticketus gamer. Has he been corrupted? Yeah. Corrupted by Frostlet's Jaina. Lore synergy. I would like to hold the Ticketus until I get Potion of Illusion, Bran, or Zola, right? As opposed to you holding the corrupted Ticketus. I know. No honor. I play the cards I'm dealt, right? It's not my fault that's the random demon I got. Please don't take away my Cartoot. If you take away my Cartoot, I'm taking away your deck. Alright. Don't say I didn't warn you. Also, it was happening anyway, so. Oh! Get that out of here. Dark Bomb, Archwillow, Cartoot, and Godfrey. Ooh, got the Gul'dan. Get wrecked. I gave all my marks +6/+12 in a solo adventure, and it buffed the ice blocks that an opponent gave you. You missed. It buffed the ice blocks that opponent gave you. Oh, like you're up against, who does those? Howl guy? Be gone. I'm out of cards. I am only more deadly. Still has N'Zoth. If they're running it. I guess they've had a Kartut. They're probably running it. I'm not worried. Hey. Depressing N'Zoth. What happened to my Solarian? Did I get discarded somehow?
Rotten to the core.
Rotten to the core. We're going for Nether, right?
I am only more deadly.
I guess maybe... Do we ever go for Flame Strike? See what Zephyrus thinks. Could go for Blizzard. What?
We're gonna be rich.
I don't think we have much to fear from this human.
Who knows what secrets have been
The second bounty in the first set of bounties gives tokens for Cariel and Cornelius. Am I gonna have to keep repeating bounty too? Like the really early on bounty? Did I claim my pack? It didn't offer me, like, why does it never let me claim the second one? It's so weird. It always lets me claim the first one just in chat, and then the second one is like, thank you. The second one, I have to actually go to the drops menu. It's so annoying. All right, night marching. Thank you, Colonel Blabby, for being here to get your mercs back.
Your wish is my suggestion.
I'll suggest you a wish. Boop. Alright, so if I go over here. Nope. If I go over here. Thank you for being here to get your packs, Jumpa. Do you know, has anyone mentioned anything about the legend rank points ranking up a little for win now? Seems odd to me that no one seems to be tweeting about it. I saw some yesterday. Like I saw some tweets. Oh, did I? I guess I did claim it already. I got a Samurai GlitchCon 2020 emote. What was that? It's probably a GlitchCon. That would make sense. Boop. Hey, GG Ganja. How's the Reno Paladin been working out for you? Does anyone know? Okay. So ridiculously low. Played for hours and never gained a level. Hope they retroactively give experience for those that have played a bunch. Something cool? Played for hours. I must have just missed it. Corbett was only gaining or losing 1 star at a time, so weird. Oh, just like on regular ranks? Even with a bonus? That is weird. Ooh. What do I think about Amazing Reno in this deck? I'm playing this deck to have fun. I think Amazing Reno, whether I play him or whether my opponents plays him, I never have more anxiety in Hearthstone than when that hero power is in effect. So I would not put him in a deck that I would play just for the fun of playing that deck, which is my motivation for playing this one. Would he be good? His Battlecry would be fantastic, probably. Being able to vanish away opposing like Gul'dan boards and stuff, probably very useful. But then you have his hero power active. So that's as good as it ever is. Anxiety over a hero power? It's a pretty anxious hero power.
I have become one with the void.
Oh my goodness. Alright, it's a box. We're back to Solarian now. Alright. As long as we don't overdraw Ignite, I will consider that Solarian a success. Oh! I have to remember we have a duplicate in play. Drew Patch is sad. It's true. Cool. No more tickets! Please not my Ignite. Actually whiffed the Ignite, cool. And it whiffed Frostless Jaina? I actually think that's pretty cool as long as there isn't going to be more of them. How do I deal with this? I don't want to shuffle this back in. It's like, what if you... Oh, they've already used the raised it. So... there shouldn't be any more Ticketus to worry about. Guess I'll Nazoth soon. Disable overdraw.
Against me. Who knows my secret?
Wouldn't mind having 2 of those. Wish you luck on getting a shiny. Good luck, Kingdom. This Brock strat is actually insane. Are you getting a lot of bounties? Okay, cool. Does he have good coins? Or you're saying you get the coins from the tasks? I see. How to Turn Off Your Highlander Cards by MartianBuu. How to Add 2 sheeps to your hand by MartianBuu. Alright. At least these sheeps will be elementals later.
Do not fear power. Fear those who wield it.
This is like slightly worrisome, right? We gotta like rat their stuff or something, I don't know. Because we don't have any transform effects or anything left.
Time melts away.
So what I want to do is I want to like Zola, Varden, Potion of Illusion, and just get a bunch of extra value.
Gonna clean that up.
And disappointed.
By my calculations, you need to chill out.
Which starter do you take, Sobble or Scorbunny? I think Sobble is the funniest. You know what? Reno's not that bad, I guess. It's just a disaster.
I'm almost out of cards.
I wish Ignite wasn't the last card in the deck. Alright, so... We freeze.
You need to chill out.
And then, am I gonna hero power this turn? I don't think so, right? So we get like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards, maximum possible gas. Have a bunch of extra 1/1s.
Look at me.
You wish you were a little bit taller? You wish you were a baller? I bet you're a baller.
I'm out of cards.
We need to kill that. Can we?
By my calculations, you need to chill out.
Has opponent realized they lost? I don't know that they have yet. They might not have. But maybe.
I'm out of cards.
You can play scientist. Yeah, but then it just gets like eaten. Opponent was playing Nozdormu, but that's cool. I'm almost out of cards.
I'm out of cards.
What is his hand? Oh, what is his hand? I don't know. We're almost out of cards too. If they have N'Zoth, we might be in trouble, but they have Ticketus. N'Zoth is a little weird with Ticketus. That was the turn to play Scientist, I think. Whoopsie. Ignite is fine. I mean, like, I think it's fine here.
I'm out of cards.
Guess maybe our opponent isn't all that happy about it.
I'm out of cards.
How large can the Ignite get?
I'm out of cards.
By my calculations, you need to chill out.
I'd rather it be used like this than to kill me from full health on 5. I feel that.
I'm out of cards.
I've already used their Zola. I don't think there's any reason not to do this.
You need to chill out.
Hey look, they gave Mage Jade Idol. I guess they did, huh? Oh. This is about to be a very big Ignite. Oh, never mind. Better Jade Idol? Yeah, definitely, at least in some ways.